What's going on, everybody? What is going on? It is Thursday, July 31st, the last day of the month, and we are back with another live here on the Tony Rain Reloaded channel. If you have not done so already, please hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button, and if you are new, I'm glad that you are here. Hit the bell so as to be notified whenever I upload a new video or go live, or join the Discord to receive notifications just in case you don't receive the notifications over here. And I have the Discord link pinned right there at the top if anyone would like to join. Shout out to all the members. Shout out to all the mods. Shout out to everybody over there on Patreon. I'm glad that all of you are here. Before we get into everything, let me go ahead and acknowledge the people who are here so far in the chat. We have Hurricane Nisi, Wallow J, Firebat, Kimura, Jeffrey Jackson, Don P, Brother Man, Reparations and Nations, Lone Longer Asleep, Isaac George, GDS, Dewani, J Cage, Pinky JYB, Weldon Johnson, and Black to Black. Shout out to everyone that is here so far, and anyone else that is coming in later or whenever. Shout out to you as well. And if for any reason you can't be here this evening and you're catching the replay, shout out to you as well. Shout out to Tawana who just entered the chat. I'm glad that you are all here. So today's live is going to be a reaction style video, and it's going to piggyback off of the commentary that I did earlier today in the afternoon involving the jumping of Jada McPherson. If y'all don't know the story, this black woman who you see on the screen in the picture on the left, Jada McPherson, was trying to get a parking spot in New York, and she ended up getting into first a verbal altercation and then a physical altercation with these two people that you see right here. Now, it is a third person, but they have yet to apprehend him as of yet. And it was all caught on video. Later, they got arrested. They got charged. A lot of community support came Jada's way. But I kind of briefly touched on at the end of that video of the interview that they did with a journalist over at New York Post. I only read some of it, but it was literally just a small piece of what you're going to hear, because the entire interview itself is about 30 minutes long. And shout out to the channel called Strange McKnights, because this is the only channel that I saw that has the entire interview, because this is the person that actually conducted the interview. I believe they do work for the Post. But also I have to give a shout out to our sister Zizi, because it was on her channel that I was actually able to see some of this interview a couple weeks ago when this actually was posted. But I didn't listen to the entire thing. And I said, you know what? I have to turn this into a live so everybody can see it for themselves. If y'all watch, first off, let me ask this question to those who are here in the chat so far. Put a 1 in the chat if you watched the video earlier that goes along with this and you're kind of brought up to speed about this story. Put a 2 if this you just want to see what nonsense they're going to say. And while y'all are doing that, let me acknowledge the people who also just came in here that I didn't acknowledge. We got Roku Muro, we got Quasi Black Star, Kren Cottrell is in the chat. We got the Informant Media, Shamika Gray just came in here. Okay, I see a lot of 1s. I see a couple of 2s. But yeah, that story was crazy. Like I said, I couldn't show the actual video because it would be deemed as being very violent, and it was very violent, by the way. But when you look at her picture, it doesn't even look like they even put hands on her. It's like she ate those hits. The person, oh, by the way, before we get into everything, the person that's on the right, this one on the far right, the one with the blonde hair, that's the mother to the person that's standing behind her. Now I'm telling you, that one right there behind her, that definitely is a haughty individual. You couldn't tell me any different. I could hear it in their voice, and you can see it in their stature. But without further ado, everybody, I'm going to go ahead now and share my screen. And we're going to go ahead and get into it. Because like I said, the interview is about 30 minutes. So here it is right here. I'm not even going to speed it up or anything like that. I'm going to just let it play out. And what's going on? Let's see. Nini just came in the chat. Rashonda is in here. I think I saw Shamika is in here as well. Shout out to y'all. Jonathan just entered the chat. Shout out to you as well. All right, let's get into it.
Yes. And I think think when we're talking, if it's okay, just look, make you guys make eye contact with me. Unless Daniel, you prefer.
Yeah, you can just sit fine.
Yeah. All right. So just let me know you're rolling.
Yep, we're good.
So yeah, just to start off, can you both introduce yourselves and just spell your names for us?
Sure. Hi, my name is Andrea Dumitru, and spelling it, it's ANDREEA DUMITRU.
Your age?
I'm 45.
Sabrina?
I'm Sabrina Starman. I'm an intersex trans woman. It's SABRINA STARMAN.
So now you don't have to speculate whether or not they just confirmed it for you.
I'm 21 years old.
You guys, how long have you lived in Jersey?
I served my community for 40 years here, 30-something years here.
How long have you been at this address?
At this address, 30-something years, basically. Yeah, we served this community for 30-something years.
Do you guys rent here or do you own?
Yeah, we rent.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we rent.
Rent stabilized?
No, my mom hasn't done that yet, but she can.
As someone who just moved last week, never leave. I'm paying like twice, so I was paying 10 years ago.
I know.
Half the space.
Absolutely, I know.
So I appreciate you guys, you both, sitting down to speak with us today. Like I told you at the beginning, we're totally here to just.
They're calling me, these people
No
that are
problem.
harassing me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have hundreds of calls, death threatening me, telling me how they're gonna come and kill us, degrading my daughter, misgendering her in the only horrible way possible.
Well, you brought that on yourself. See, this is what I'm talking about. Now they have thrown themselves into the victim mode. So basically, she's saying that her phone has been blowing up consistently since this has happened because they done found out her number. It's probably in a public registry or something. And they be getting calls all the time with all these threats and misgendering their child and all this, that, and third. Trust me, that's tame compared to what y'all did to Jada McPherson. And again, going back to Jada, I'm so glad she did not forgive these two for what they did. Let's continue. And by the way, for those of y'all out there watching, let me know what y'all sipping on as we're going through this. I can be honest with you. I got my protein shake right here. And if y'all hear me crunching or something, that's because I got my cashews.
So I have questions about how this
Absolutely.
has impacted you.
Absolutely.
And I'm
Horrible.
so sorry that you guys are going through that.
Horrible.
I appreciate that.
Horrible. She's suffering mental illness. It's not about this. It's what we're going through right now. I never in my life has experienced such trauma. And not only that, I have my little one and I have appointments and I have surgeries coming up. I have a dog. My mom is older. I fear for my life.
You didn't think about that when you jumped this woman. See, the thing is, the child, the one sitting to the right in the black shirt with the shorts on, they were the ones that launched the attack on Jada. But as a mother, what does she do? I'm not going to pull or separate my child from this woman. I'm going to jump in and help my child beat this woman. That's why I say age does not define maturity, because this woman is 45 years old. She's supposed to be the adult in the situation. But oh no, let me go ahead and help. And then on top of that, it's not even like Jada was getting the best of their child and you was like, oh no, you're not going to do it. Let me get in and try to help my child. No, their child, who is biologically born male, used all that inner XY strength against this woman who was smaller in size to them. And I'm supposed to feel bad for you? No.
I've been threatened. I haven't been sleeping since I got out of jail. I haven't been able to rest. I have not been eating. I've been feared for my life. Feared. I'm scared. They're threatened. They're doing exactly what they're saying. I had 2 women come up in here and the police escorted them out when I told them, hurry up, please, because they were coming here at my door and they were threatening us when that riot was going down outside. They came and I told them, why did you just escort them? I told you to arrest them. Why are they here? Because they threatened that they're going to kill us. I have it all in proof. I can't live like that.
So
no one deserves to live like this. No one.
I'm so sorry.
I know.
Thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
Let's rewind to the day
Okay.
of the incident, if it's okay.
Absolutely.
Your side of the story. I mean, just tell us in your own words what happened. I mean, we've all seen the video.
Yes, absolutely.
What triggered this?
Okay. So I wasn't even here when all of this happened. I came probably like 15 minutes out of that whole situation, whatever happened outside. I don't know. I came and I approached the young woman. I said, excuse me, what's going on? But there was no type of communication with the woman whatsoever, because all she kept saying is, shut up, bitch, shut up, bitch, shut up, bitch. I couldn't even.
Let me pause right there. So she said that she came 15 minutes after stuff was going on. So that means that Jada was getting into it with her child. So she wasn't even there, allegedly, because we didn't catch the video caught when they were verbally going at each other. So that tells me that she's only getting a story probably told by the child. If you weren't there 15 minutes before what happened, how do you know what happened? What escalated to that point? Because it sounds like to me, again, like Jada was in an altercation with their child. And you came in late. That's what it sounds like to me. But those of us in this chat and myself watching, we know what we saw in that video. And that was you, your child, and this other random dude who we still don't know who that is, jumped this woman 3 against 1, pulling her hair, dragging her to the ground, kicking her, punching her, all of that. And even when people saying, even when we thought it was over, you go back and pull her hair some more. That's what we saw. So I'm only taking what this person says with the tiniest grain of salt. Star Child said, how old is that child? 21. That's what they said.
He did not even give me the opportunity to be like, take the parking. Just take the parking. It's not that simple. Take it. If that, she didn't give me the opportunity. She kept cursing me out. She kept degrading me, calling me white trash.
Assuming what
You have no. I don't even know the words. I can't even explain the things that this woman has said to me for 45 minutes constantly. I was sitting on the stoops. She was mentally.
She was
driving me insane.
everyone.
You guys have no idea the way she was cursing me out. She was calling me Mexican, you fucking immigrant. Excuse me, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to use this type of.
It's okay.
Okay.
They can beep out whatever they.
Immigrant. Get the fuck out of here, you white trash bitch. You're not going to get this fucking parking. All I was telling her is, let's wait for the police. Let's wait for the police. Let's wait for the police to see who's going to get the parking. If we could find out to get that camera to see how I was sitting on my step for 45 minutes, I haven't done absolutely nothing. We were waiting for the police to come.
So let's hypothetically say that Jada did allegedly call you that. Well, what did you call her? Because that's actually on the tape of what you called her. They even transcripted it. And I read it out to y'all. For those who saw the video earlier, I read out to you what they called her. They called her some slurs too. I think one of them maybe mentioned something about threatening to eliminate some people. And now you're upset because people are making some house calls. Exactly. Cue that small violin.
While I was sitting there for 45 minutes, there was a group of people. No one came to defend anything. No one came to break absolutely anything, meaning to push her on the side, because the words she was saying, and not only to me, to all the other colored people around me, calling us Mexicans, calling us that were illegal here, a bunch of insane things. Then she was disrespecting my daughter, misgendering her, calling her a man, calling her a tranny, calling
a
guys.
transvestite.
I don't know the words that.
Didn't you just call yourself at the beginning of this video an intersexual trans person? When I first heard, I'm gonna be honest, when I first saw the video, I thought that was a grown man that was going at, well, technically it still is, but I just thought there was just an overly sassy Academy member, because I couldn't tell from that angle. Because I could hear if you hear how soft-spoken this person is sounding right now, when you listen to the video and see the video, you can hear some of the bass coming out of their voice. That's the one thing about Hall T. If they have not gone through every procedure yet to make their voice sound almost extremely feminine, if they get to that point of being very mad, that bass will come out of their voice in a heartbeat, as if you were talking to, say, me right now. And that's exactly what I heard. And I was like, wait a minute. I knew that this grown man was fighting this woman, but then when I heard the voice, I said, oh, so he must be in the academy. And then when I see a picture, I was like, oh, okay, now it all makes sense.
At this woman that came out of her mouth, it was unbelievable. The mental trauma that I had from her, for her calling you old bitch, shut the fuck up, you old bitch. Shut the fuck up, sit the fuck down, bitch. All of you is getting smacked today. All of you are gonna get fucked up today. I'm gonna call my brothers and my father. And it was so much happening. I don't really remember, but I remember she was disrespecting me. And the
You don't remember because that's all alleged. We don't know if that actually did happen.
only way, brutalizing me mentally, provoking the situation instead of her just stopping and be. I was trying to communicate with her when I first got there because I didn't even know what was going on. I try to be like, all right, what's going on? Shut up, bitch. Shut up, bitch, you fucking immigrant. Get the fuck out of here, you fucking immigrant. Everybody's gonna get it today. Kept on.
Trump gonna get y'all.
Yes, Trump is gonna deport you, take you out of here.
She said that.
I wish we can get for you guys to hear the other side of everything that just happened.
You want to know why I don't believe this? Let me tell you why. Because, let me tell you why. You hear how she's saying that allegedly Jada telling her to shut up, B, shut the F up, Trump's going to deport you and all this and the third. If y'all watch the video, the thing that Jada said to them that triggered them to cause the child to attack her physically wasn't even nearly what she said in this clip. Because what I heard Jada say was, or called them rather, was immigrant. She called them an immigrant. And that's what caused the one on the right to start swinging on her. Now, you would think after what the mother just said and described, telling her to shut the F up, calling her a B, you're going to get deported, that would be the triggering thing to make you swing. But calling them an immigrant, that's what did it. Y'all, we only 7 minutes into a 28-minute video. This is going to be good. We are just getting started.
Mentally,
So this was going on for like
45 around the 30 to 45 minutes.
And what time did like that recording happen into the account?
This was in the beginning. When I tried to approach her nicely, I went there nicely. I have my witnesses, but there's everybody scared to speak because everybody's scared of what happened.
Right.
Nobody wants to get involved now because everybody look how they're reacting.
Right.
Insane. I'm not saying I was right. I was extremely wrong. I regret it. If I can turn back time and just not none of that to happen, I would. I sincerely regret it with all my heart. I have not had peace since then.
And specifically, you regret the violence.
I regret that. It was very wrong of me to do. Very wrong of me to do.
She don't regret that. She knew what she was doing because, like I said, as the so-called mature one, and I put that in air quotes, what you should have did was pulled your child off of this woman. You should have separated them, but you didn't do that. You aided in it. You hit Jada from the side and on the top of her head, and then another person came in and helped you. So in my opinion, you don't regret a thing. How you felt in that moment is how you felt. End of story.
Wasn't right. It wasn't right. I regret it. But to get humiliated and mentally abused for 45 minutes, her calling me names and provoking the situation because she wasn't. If she was.
And I got another question. If this was going on allegedly for 45 minutes, like they claim, why are we only seeing that part of the video where the altercation gets physical? You mean to tell me that, and mind you, this story has been out for about 2 weeks now. Why hasn't anyone posted up the full 45-minute altercation if that was the case? Because I'm telling you, if it was, that video would have been out there. That video would have been, people would have been seeing that. The whole thing. But this part right here, everyone saw. So I'm telling you, if there is actual truth to what she's claiming, that Jada was verbally abusing you for 45 minutes, then why haven't we seen that?
It's nice and be like, look, ma'am, I'm trying to get the. No, it wasn't like that. That's the thing. She chose the violence. She provoked the situation after 45 minutes, humiliating me, degrading me, calling me all types of racial names. I was nobody.
And let me also add too, I didn't mean to stop it so soon. The people in the neighborhood have been saying for years that they've had a problem with these two. For years. With the putting the trash can there and everything like that. They've had a problem with that for years. It's just that on that day, it hit a powder keg moment because then it became physical.
It was racial here. I'm not racist. My kids are Hispanic.
We need to make that clear though. She started the racial comments.
Right.
Not only with us, but with strangers that were trying to just help out the situation before me and her even got to the point, to that location that she was throwing out her trash cans. We didn't really get the chance to really have like a nice communicative
whatsoever
conversation with her. She just went straight to insults.
And Sabrina, did you feel compelled to stick up for your mother, and is that why?
Of course.
So just tell me in your own words what happened.
So basically,
and you both
I was
great, by the way. Thank you.
I was upstairs and I got a phone call from my mom just to check out what was going on because she heard from other neighbors that someone was yelling outside of our house for parking. So I just went out my window and asked, like, what's going on?
What happened?
What's going on, bitch? Like, that's how I talk as a person. It's not, I wasn't insinuated towards anyone. I was just trying to figure out what was going on because it was crazy screaming, aggravation, insults being thrown by her to other people
as well.
So,
calling me an old bitch.
Okay, no, but you didn't get there yet for that.
You're right. I wasn't there.
She told me to come outside.
Is Marjorie telling on herself? Notice how they had to stop their mother from talking too much.
Come outside, bitch. Everybody gonna get slapped today. And I was just thinking about my mom, you know, because I know the parking was being held for her. I just, for the safety of my mother, I wanted to see what was going on. The moment my mom had arrived and approached her calmly, she just started calling her racial slurs, threatening her, calling her an old ugly bitch.
She wouldn't shut up. She
wouldn't the whole 9 yards.
Whatsoever, like at all.
The whole 9 yards. So I officially got out the building and I slightly approached her to see what was going on. And I was like, what happened, bitch? Because, you know, these.
And again, you came up to a complete stranger that you don't know and said, what a B. Like, as if she was one of your homies, like one of your homegirls, and that's how y'all just talk to each other. Of course, she was gonna act erratic after that. Y'all don't know each other from a can of paint, and that's how you decide to greet this person.
Insults were being heard by everyone for a whole 30 minutes straight. She wouldn't like stop yelling. And I would understand if we reacted that way for a parking, but it wasn't for a parking. It was the way she approached us and provoked us for a whole 30 minutes straight till the 45-minute mark where we got arrested because we were just only sticking up for ourselves.
So can you also explain to what was going on with like the parking? So they were trying to save the spot for you. That was
yes.
So yeah, just tell me what was happening before she pulled up and just.
I was not there.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't there. I got there late.
Got it.
When everything had happened already. They were
holding the spot for you though.
Someone was holding the parking for me. I went to grab some McDonald's for my little one due to parking being crazy in this neighborhood, insane, you know. And it's dumb of me because I could literally get one of those plates and not have this issue, but I just didn't have time to do any of that. That's not the issue.
So you put trash cans there in a public spot. That's not how that works. Jada saw an open spot right there and wanted to park there, and then it escalated from there. Because you put some trash cans there, and if y'all see the video, you can see the trash cans are there and they're very visible. They're near a bus that's right there. And the trash is like literally overflowing. Like there's almost to the point where like the garbage people got to come and get it immediately because it's starting to fall out of the sides. It was overflow with trash.
Here is the problem is I got there late when this happened. Someone was holding the parking for me. Her and that person, I don't know what, I wasn't there for that. I don't know what had happened. When I went to approach her to ask her what's going on, she was not, you couldn't talk to her. There was no way to speak to this woman because she was like, shut up, bitch, shut up, bitch. And then she started insulting me. She didn't give me the opportunity.
It's so many holes. It's more holes in this story than Swiss cheese. I'm telling you, they're leaving a lot of stuff out. I'm telling you, they're leaving a lot of stuff out. I would like to see if they can get an interview with Jada in the same kind of capacity so she can tell her side of the story. I'm more inclined to believe hers rather than this, but let's continue.
To do anything because right away she was being violent. Very
verbally violent. She threatened us with her father, her brothers, unprovoked. She
I didn't
just
do anything.
out of nowhere was threatening people.
I asked her what's going on, but you couldn't communicate with her whatsoever at all. There was no communication.
And so I want to get to the bottom of how this incident has kind of changed your lives almost.
Completely changed my life for the rest of my life. I feel threatened to my life.
I feel like they only put out the part that was provoked and the breaking point, but they didn't put out the beginning. I feel like this was very, very, very targeted towards me and my mother and towards the Latino community, the Hispanic community, the intersex community, trans people in general, people of color in general. I don't know why she felt the need to come for us for being Hispanic or Latino or something that she just assumed out of the blue.
So now they're trying to make it seem like Jada is being anti-SOB? That's what they're trying to make it seem like she is? That she just attacked them because of their background? That's what I'm gathering?
As even down to calling me a man or saying that I'll never be a woman. She won't fight a man. She was insinuating before I ever did anything that she wanted to fight me, but when she heard my voice, she figured that I was a man and said that she'd call her father to handle me.
And what do you, I mean, you can't speak, you guys weren't involved in this part of the incident, but obviously the third individual, do you condone his actions? I mean, I think that's what a lot of people were really upset about, was seeing him, you know, wailing on her with the closed fist. I think if it was just you two, this would.
I agree.
Honestly, I was unaware of his actions. I was unaware that he would even approach himself like that. That person has nothing to do with me personally, but the way he involved himself, I don't.
And now the person that they're talking about is the random guy that came out of nowhere in the green shirt. That was the third person. That's who they're talking about now.
I don't condone violence in general, but you would have to understand that as humans, we also have our breaking point in general, and someone that has never experienced such harassment in general.
She doesn't fight. She doesn't fight. She barely gets out the house. People that actually know.
I couldn't tell by the way I was looking at that video that this person doesn't fight. If y'all saw the video, I couldn't tell. I'm just saying.
Sabrina, no, that Sabrina is not a fighter.
But she spoke about me and my mother in a very
not a violent. We are not violent people.
Degrading way. And
I'm not a violent person.
And yes, what I did was complete.
I couldn't tell. You said I'm not a violent person. I'm too old for this. You're right about that. You are too old for this. And by you saying you're not a violent person, I couldn't. Again, you as the older adult should have handled this way differently than you did. Instead of jumping in to break it up, you jumped in to continue jumping on. So it went from 1v1 to 2v1, and that other guy came in and it became 3v1.
Wrong. I don't condone violence, but I'm human. I'm not perfect. I'm not a robot. I'm not AI. I tried my best to see what was going on, and at the end she wouldn't stop. And I guess as my initial reaction, the fight began.
She wouldn't
But
shut up.
like
And
you mentioned, the other person,
Well, yeah. What's like? Is he just an acquaintance to you guys? What's his? Because I think
yeah,
one
we
of the
just know him
speculations
from the
might have been-
street.
He's not
no, but
family,
we
right?
grew up here. We know him from here.
He's
We
not
grew up
family
here.
though, right? He's not.
No, he's not family. Absolutely not. He is not our family.
So he's just a neighborhood
He's
guy.
just a yes. He is my neighbor, and we know each other for years. From here, from the street, from everybody knows each other here.
Sure. So going back to how this incident has impacted you guys, do you fear for your safety? right now?
Absolutely, and I can have proof for.
I haven't slept in days.
Yeah.
I haven't
Yeah.
eaten anything.
Look how we're living.
I
Right.
haven't got to step outside. I
Yeah.
usually don't ever step outside, but you know,
I will say that they aren't lying about that, because there was another video that popped up a couple days later where people was coming, like the community was coming out to support Jada. They found where they lived, and them people was out there with bullhorns all night. I wish I would have incorporated that into my actual commentary, but those who are familiar with the story know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about it was a horde of black people outside of where they live at, literally making a bunch of noise in front of their home. They said, we making sure y'all gonna know who we are, and y'all ain't getting no sleep. Y'all are not getting no rest. So that's probably why they can't get no sleep, because them people was raising all types of hell outside of their spot.
at the moment prior to this this situation that happened, I was just starting to feel comfortable in my own skin to step out, and I can no longer do that. And God knows how long we'll be able to get that chance to be safe again or feel safe in our own environment.
Is it okay if I ask when you transition? That's what you mean, right? But
Sure. So I'm an intersex person biologically. I have both female and male characteristics. I'm not gonna really break that down right now.
no worries.
But I
don't see what the point of that line of questioning was, but I mean, I suppose. So basically, this person is a hermaphrodite, is what they're saying.
had started hormones when I was 15.
Okay.
I'm 21 now. It's almost 6 years. I am fully transitioned. So for them to try to come for me and continuously call me a man, put my ID on the internet, all my information, I feel like this is violence. Shouldn't condone violence. Violence shouldn't be brought with violence. I feel like.
But that what? Wait a hold on. Time out. Flag on the play. You just sat here and just said that violence shouldn't beget violence, yet you got violent with this woman. All I'm gonna say is this: they are lucky that Jada was by herself when that happened, and that she wasn't out there with another man or something like that, because it would have been a rumble in the concrete jungle.
People chose to be violent because they were unaware of what actually happened, and one side of the story was being put out. But I feel like if you want to protest and you want to stand up for one another, a violent protest is not the way. Trying to break into our building is not the way.
Right.
Hundreds of death threats is not the way. Coming for my disabled brother that can't walk, can't fend for himself, he's only 12, is not the way.
So can I show you guys something?
Of course.
This was posted in social media purporting to show the third individual.
Before we go any further, can someone get Roberto out there? You know, that's the neighborhood troll. Can someone in the chat who has a wrench take care of that for me, please, and thank you. They probably heard we were talking about their kinfolk and decided to pop in here.
It's not a real video.
Right.
But this was posted online, basically showing a third individual from the incident the other day, kidnapped, gun to his head, restrained.
I can't look like that.
It never happened, obviously, but the fact that these hoaxes are
Right.
coming up. I mean, what have you seen that video, by the way, and what did you
No.
think about it?
This is the first time that I'm seeing this.
How does that make you feel?
I have no words. have no words. I'm scared for my life.
People were applauding this video online.
So, how do you think I feel when people were doing that for me?
And let me just preface this for you. Once we're done with the video, we're going to go through some of the comments underneath this video. And I think it's pretty obvious that what you're going to see as far as what people responded or how they responded to this. Trust and believe me, we're on the same, for the most part, we're on the same wavelength.
Can you believe this? Can you believe this? Is this is right? Because I was wrong, but is that right? I'm admitting that I'm wrong. I regret everything that happened. I regret it. I regret it. I wish I could turn back time and be more wisely and think. Nobody wanted any of that. It's not my style to do any of that. It's not my character to do any of that.
But in that moment, you did. So people are going to take that as that being your character. See, like I said, if this person right here would have just been the adult and broke up the fight, then none of this would have happened. But no, you jumped in and you helped to jump this woman. How did you think people were going to respond? And then it went viral. Like, again, there are consequences for your actions. This is the consequence right here. Did they really think that nobody was going to respond in that manner, that way? Like, let's be for real here.
But being mentally abused for 45 minutes, the woman would not stop, humiliate me, disrespect me, call me all types of names that you guys could even imagine. Like, I don't even know how could she do something like that?
So, I know you guys, you regret your actions.
Yes, I do.
I'm in touch with her. Do you have any message for her?
I'm sorry. I'm truly
I want to say that
sorry.
I apologize for approaching myself the way I did after being provoked. It's not the answer.
And she knows the truth. She knows. I know she knows.
And by the way, this is the apology right here, because I think by this time when they made this, I think Jada had already seen it. And that's when she came out and said that she doesn't accept their apology. But she also had said that she doesn't believe that people should have been sending them death threats and all types of stuff. But that's as far as it's going to go for her. But she says as far as the apology that they're giving right here, she doesn't accept that. So I give her grace give her immense grace on that. I'm glad that she didn't accept the apology, and she shouldn't have to. She shouldn't be made to accept the apology because they are the ones that jumped her at the end of the day for something they started.
It's not the answer or the solution to stop a situation, but people like me have fought for so much in this country, on this world.
Oh, spare me. If you ain't in a position that my ancestors been in for the last, my people been in for the last 400 plus years, you can spare me that.
And I've dealt with so much trauma in the past for being who I am as a person, for people like us. And that of course doesn't mean that I should have been, that I should have expressed myself the way I did to her. I don't condone violence, but I have suffered immensely. And hearing that being said in the public is not fair. It was insulting, it was degrading. It hurt me. I felt offended. So I felt my instinct was just to protect the trans community, intersex people, Latino, Hispanic people. It wasn't meant to hurt her, but it was just.
Wait a minute. Time out. Did you just say that you were doing this on the behalf to protect the trans community, the LGBT community, and the Latino community? Understand what this person just tried to do. They're trying to make it seem like Jada committed a verbalized hate crime. And that the only way they could think of responding to her was to viciously attack her. That's what they're trying to do. But nobody falling for that nonsense. I know I'm not. Put it in the chat. Yes or no. Are y'all falling for that crap?
A simple reaction. I've been suffering a lot immensely for years. So you would have to understand if this is my reaction.
Sorry, I'm just. So
Sure.
one of my other questions is kind of meta, what we were just kind of talking about, parking in the neighborhood. I have some specific questions about that. Just tell me how crazy is it to park in Ridgewood?
Crazy, like an hour or two sometimes, or 3 maybe.
There's a reason why he's asking that question, because it will go into why they put the trash cans there. And she just said that sometimes it could take an hour, maybe 2 hours to try to find a park in that neighborhood. So they're basically explaining why they put those trash cans there. But still, you shouldn't be putting no trash cans there. If you're not, especially if you don't hold no park for nobody, especially now knowing you got to wait an hour to 2. No, you going to get them trash cans up out the way. If you don't got a car to park there or any type of motor vehicle to park there, them trash cans got to go. And I'm parking here. See, again, it started with them putting them trash cans right there. You don't put no hold no public parking spot. Your name isn't on the spot. Hey, it is what it is.
We were actually inspired by someone from down the block and someone that actually lives from our street to put out a street cone so that we can like save parking. It wasn't intentional to really block or make traffic or not let people park where they rightfully should, but out of that inspiration and the havoc of having crazy parking situations in general in the Ridgewood community, we just felt inspired by others to also be a part of that, but it wasn't meant to hurt anyone.
Right. It wasn't. No, none of this was meant. Nobody wanted. There's no racial anything here. I love all people.
Oh God. It was nothing racial. I love all people. I feel like that's one of the biggest cop-out responses people can give when they feel their back is against the wall. And I don't believe a lick of it.
People.
It
doesn't matter what color you are. I love everybody. My kids are Hispanic. I don't care if you're black, white, green, purple, orange. It doesn't matter.
I mean, it never had anything to do with race in general.
And they turned it into a racial thing.
So
now it's our fault. There it is, y'all. So now it's our fault. It's black people's fault because he said they turned it into a racial thing. Listen, we read the transcripts of what you said. I wish this interview would have asked them about what they had said to her. But the thing is, they probably felt we don't even have to ask you because we already got the transcript, so we already know. But I wish they would have, to see if they would have lied, like they've been lying, or if they would have actually told the truth.
First,
back to the parking. I'm sorry. So, like, you
Yes.
know, I live where I live. There's similar problems, right? And there's, I think, on every block, there's, you know, mini parking wars that kind of go on. For example,
Yes.
near me, there's a family of 4, and they all have to park their 4 vehicles in a row, and it's super annoying for, you know, for some people, right? And so I did speak to some of your neighbors.
Okay.
You know, some of them did indicate that, you know, this particular kind of conduct, you know, putting garbage cans on the street to block spaces, has been happening for a long time. Some said like up to a decade. So, you know, is this something that you think you're going to continue doing?
I'll never do that again.
There it is. Of course, they're not going to do it again. Or at least that's what they claim. They're not going to do it again because they see what came up of it this time. But see, they basically told you that they've been doing it. They said, I'm glad he brought up about the neighbors. They said for at least up to a decade. So if we're talking a decade, that means since at least 2015 that they've been doing that. Putting garbage cans to hold a parking spot. It's just that on that day, someone actually confronted them about that. And it led to the situation we're in now.
Ever, I learned my lesson. I will never do something like that again, and I will never condone something like that ever again. You want the parking? Take it. It's not worth this. This is
Now, why didn't you have that mindset 2 weeks ago? I feel like I'm losing molecules right now. I feel like I'm leaking brain fluid. Why didn't you just do this? Why didn't it just go down like this 2 weeks ago? It was a parking spot. No, because you got in your feelings. That's what it was. Because someone confronted you about it. Apparently, no one has confronted this about you before. But now you don't want to do it anymore because you got put on blast.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
People, they said to me, they were saying, this is disgusting. This is entitled.
Someone get Dorsey up out of here.
This is very selfish. How do you respond?
But it's maybe they said that because maybe sometimes we felt like that the same about others that would do the same thing on this block. It's not only us that do that.
Oh, look at that. It's not only them that do that. Now they about to shift blame to other people. Now they about to say they about to dry snitch. She about to dry snitch. There's other people that do it too. So don't just come at us. The people that's down the street, they do it. The people across the way, they do it. Why me? Why me?
It's just that we are the ones that was down.
Hashtag inspired.
Right. It's not only me, it's my neighbors across the street, their wife, their sister always has them sit down. The gentleman across the street, there's somebody around the corner as well. There's my neighbors that always do that. It's not only us.
Also,
everybody. And you know what? Go ahead.
Even one of the gentlemen that you had interviewed,
I helped him with the parking. He asked me if I can help
friendly neighbors, but
Who
because
asked?
we've helped them out multiple
The gentleman.
times.
Alice?
No, not Aris. Aris, is you're talking about?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't have a car. It's my neighbor.
Which he also insulted me, which, I mean,
it is what it is. It doesn't
I
even
know.
matter. It's the point here is that none of this should have happened, and I regret it, and I'm truly sorry from the bottom of my heart. It was wrong. It was wrong, but she was wrong too.
See, she can't even take the accountability on her own without throwing Jada under the bus, saying I was wrong, but she was wrong too. Like, no one believes you. Like, does she not understand that no one is on her side except her child? I'm just saying.
She was wrong because she didn't stop. She didn't give me an opportunity to talk to her, to be like, you want the parking ticket? She came out violent from the beginning. As soon as I approached her, it was no communication with this young woman. This young woman automatically approached me with violence and talked down on me, called me old, called me names,
She just made
which
us
is
feel
fine.
aliens.
It's a privilege to be
She made us
45
feel like
years old. That's
aliens on
okay.
this planet.
I don't mind that. I know that
I-
that's not the problem. The problem is communicate. Maybe if we would have communicated and you would have gave me the opportunity to communicate, maybe we wouldn't have been here.
And also just help our audience understand, because maybe there's something we don't know. Like, I know that Adis, he said, you had a sick son or someone in your
Yes.
family, and that's why you were doing this all these years ago.
Absolutely.
So like, what?
Trying to bring his food home hot
Yeah.
because he likes that.
So was
And
that?
I never even drive the car. My car always stays parked, so whoever knows me knows that parking knows, because I don't drive. I don't like driving. I don't drive. I drive a car for his necessities.
What's the reason that you guys have done this for so many years?
I don't leave anywhere with the car, and I like to have it in front of my house for it to be safe, because there's a lot of bad stuff going on around. And I always like to have, and plus, yeah, he needs it to be closer to him for his legs, because he doesn't.
He's unable to walk, so it being parked in front of the house gives him the opportunity to step out, get some air, and transport him to his.
It'd be easier
medical
for him.
appointment.
Tell me about your son. I didn't know if this was.
I don't really want to put my son out there. I don't really want my
But
little ones to have
If I
anything
say
to do with.
a disabled family member, would that be accurate?
I think that would be better.
Okay.
Because I really don't want my little ones,
No,
even
of
though
course.
it's,
Of course.
they're doing
But it
what
was
they
for a
do.
medical issue.
It's for medical
Gotcha.
issue,
Okay.
right?
No problem. I think you answered like all of my questions, and I appreciate you doing so
Do
graciously.
you want to see or hear about some of the threats and,
Can I show you
violence that
what they've been doing to us every night, every
I sent
day,
your colleagues
constantly?
some of the messages you received, but
Sure. Real quick, just while we have, because we'll clip this, just so I got it on this reel. I forgot to ask at the top. What are both? You said you're an esthetician. Is that a correct title, like, as far as occupation goes?
Kind of, yes.
Yes. And Sabrina,
Um,
how should we title you?
well, I would like to say that I have wanted a model and also be.
Okay, we don't care about that. I think we pretty much got to the end of this. We don't care about what you want to do and your aspirations and any of that. Okay, I think that's pretty much the end of it, y'all. Let's read some of these comments. And then I'll drop the link. I'll drop the link maybe around 7. I'll drop the link around 7. So this one comment right here says, it's crazy to me that the person who ripped locks out of a woman's head is trying to pretend to be the victim right now. Another person says, I live less than 10 blocks away from where this was. These people have been known throughout Ridgewood as a nuisance at best. So they're sorry they got caught and nothing else. Crocodile tears. Someone else said the audacity to say they are traumatized when all 3 of them jumped on that girl is crazy. They said they called that girl racial slurs, punched on her, dragged her to the ground, pulled out her hair as she covered her head for protection over a parking space. I have no sympathy. It's forever up. Another person said she acts as if she never heard such foul language, but she uses it so naturally that her body language gets into it. They said, wait a minute. They aggressed her, called her a monkey, and now they're in fear? Ain't no fun when the rabbit has the gun. Someone said it's illegal to say public parking spots in NYC if you don't have a vehicle in the space. This is not a small town. Someone said this is a masterclass on how to gaslight someone. Someone else says we've served this community for 30 years. They're quoting her. This is no, you've been a nuisance to this community for 30 years. Someone else says crazy to call someone violent over and over when you physically assaulted her and were the aggressors, while they are taking zero accountability for putting hands on someone who didn't touch you. Someone says, so let's use the young son with a disability as an excuse now during our fake apology. Someone says 3 against 1 to attack a lady over a parking space and now you play the victim is diabolical. Someone says, why didn't they just move the garbage can and go back inside instead of standing there and subjecting themselves to the 45-minute tirade that they described? And it goes on and on and on. So y'all can pretty much get the gist of it. But yeah, y'all, that was interesting to say the least. But I know y'all have some opinions. I know y'all are burning to come up here too, especially if you got the time to do so. So there's the link right there in the chat. Feel free to drop in, speak your piece. And also, if you haven't done so already, to make sure y'all go ahead and smash that like button if you haven't done so already. Shout out to the people that is here so far in the chat. But we're going to bring our first person up. Of course, y'all already know who it is. Wallow, what's going on?
What's going on, Tori? What's going on, everybody in the chat? We heard what y'all said in the translations. Now you playing victim because black folks actually came out and called y'all asses out. And you upset because we thought it was a black and brown coalition. Get that shit out. Get that bullshit out of here. Sorry for my cursing, everybody, but a whole bunch of lies, even more lies. Like, y'all sitting here lying. First off, man, where your husband at? If you had a husband, he would have dealt with the situation probably much better than you. I ain't gonna go in on the other one, but this and then all I know, Tony, you heard all the buzzwords they was basically saying, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like the buzzwords were going crazy. If it was a drinking game, I would be drunk right now. But it was like the LGBT, the trans community, all they basically said every minority in the book but white folks, basically. And it was like, look, what y'all did is what y'all did. Stop being bitches about what you did, own up to it, and catch this work. Not physical work, but all the backlash you deserve. Because if this was the other way around, y'all would never accept our apology. And I'll land there.
Appreciate you coming up, Wallow. Nene said Wallow in 3, 2, 1. They already know Wallow usually the first person to pop up. But next up, we got Jonathan. What's going on?
What's up, Torian, man? I'm so glad that I got in just in time to at least be second. Well, because I have a lot to say about this. First round. First off, both of them little bras look like Beavis and Butthead. Um, they lie. What they lie like you know Caucasian folks, racist Caucasian folks will lie, and they're basically Karens, with a different nationality race. Because this is the type of entitled stuff type of Karens will do. It's like, why in the hell are you putting trash cans in front of buildings just to hold up spots for your friend? You know what I'm saying? If your people can't park at a spot and walk down to your house, then maybe they shouldn't even be at your house. You know what I'm saying? And I feel, and the jumping, come on, man. Two men, two dudes, and the only woman, she actually look like a man too. If you look at her jawline, that she look like a dude just as much as her trans daughter and that guy does. Um, you know what I'm saying? All of, you come and do this, and then all of a sudden you tell this interview about this 45 minutes, make up all kinds of this BS. And now, if neighbors watch, if the neighbors were to see her interview, they'd be like, "Oh, this chick is fine. We was here." And then look, don't let your neighbors call them to do an interview because they're gonna tell exactly. Because if they say the exact opposite of what you just said, you just basically just screwed yourself. You and your trans he/she daughter. I mean, y'all. Oh, I'm on I'm doing a chat with someone. It's my big head trainer over there. Well, not trainer, but he's host boot camps. But anyway, yeah. This dude, like, these dudes have a nerd to us, like, spend this whole interview trying to clear their names when no one ain't gonna believe them. It's a waste of time. Like, just admit that, hey, he was wrong and all, and we played a racial part in this. We kind of went after her because she's black. You know what I'm saying? We was mad that she moved the trash cans off the way. You know what I'm saying? We were just being ignorant cowards on that day. We apologize and all that. They just, it's like they want to be white so bad. And I mean the racist white part. And the funny part about it, they'll never accept it that way. They gotta realize they're not like by those them folks either. So hey man, all this black and brown coalition, man, so much for that. Because I'm gonna tell you, when they start begging for our help and all that, all we gonna remember is what happened to her and how y'all treated us. We're gonna be like, y'all on y'all own. Y'all fighting people because y'all was siding with them against us. So if they turn on y'all and they treating y'all just as bad and they killing y'all, we ain't got nothing to do with it. Don't come to us. Stop calling. Stop asking for help. Do that shit on your own because y'all was just as against us as they were. And I'm gonna land my plane on right there.
Appreciate you coming up.
Appreciate you.
Shout out to Jonathan for coming up. Next up, let's see, who do we have? Oh, y'all already know what time it is.
Heed my command and reclaim these relics of hatred.
Hurricane Nisi, what's going on?
Good evening, Torian. Good evening, family in the chat. Well, them two lying yuck mouths. Him spending money getting a sex change. He need to work on them teeth. And I wish I wrote it to comment in the chat. Shim should have got a severe injury between his legs. We wouldn't have heard no bass coming from the voice now, would we?
Mm-hmm. And like I said, well, Ms. Nisi, you was in the chat earlier for the video I did earlier, but like I said, I couldn't show the video. Now, for those, I'm gonna ask you so you can get more confirmation. When you heard the audio, and when you heard this person yelling and in the very loud and belligerent way that they were, didn't that sound like a straight up dude?
Yes.
But didn't they sound a whole lot different, very soft spoken in this video that we just watched? It's almost
that was cosplaying that interview.
It was almost like listening to two different people.
Well, he's him. He is two different people.
You crazy? I feel like I set myself up for that.
But I'm like this. I'm thankful that Jada was not severely injured.
Right. Exactly.
I'm
Like I said,
thankful for that.
yeah, because like I said, the picture that I had posted up in the update portion of the video, that's how she currently looked after the fact. And the thing is, it doesn't even look like they put hands on her. Like she had no markings on her face, no bruises or nothing. Like she looked like she was, it doesn't even look like she was even jumped. Like how she looks in this thumbnail, like how she looks right here is how she looked after the fact. Like it almost, it's almost like they didn't even put that, like nothing happened to her.
Well, I'm glad the neighbors are giving both them bitches the business.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, like I said, there are consequences to your actions. It is what it is. You can't sit up there and claim victim after millions of people, especially online, saw what you did. Like, what did you think was going to happen? Now, for you, if you knew your life was going to be in danger, like you claim, why in the world would you stay there?
Well, I'm praying that who's doing the comeuppance is FBA. Stay on that ass, 10 toes down. B1, baby.
B1. Shout out to Hurricane Nisi for coming through. Oh, I forgot I had a whole now the super chat, but a membership acknowledgement. Shout out to KG for being a member of the channel for 40 months. Put some 40s in the chat for KG. And I'm not talking about the champagne 40. I'm not the beer 40, but just put the number 40 in the chat. He says somewhere Fat Joe will put the young cabron in his video in hotel room. Lean back. Y'all crazy. Shout out to KG. All right, next up we got Church. What's going on?
How you doing, Tori? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, blessings to you. Blessings to the chat. I got to follow Hurricane Nisi. You know that's going to be a tough one, but here we go. First and foremost, the mother. You can tell that the mother is used to this type of activity. Wherever the hell she came from, this woman is used to throwing rocks and hiding her hands. That's what I could just see it. She looks like a straight up gangbanger. And I'm
you know what I thought of? you know what I thought of? The mother from Illegal Tender.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just the only difference is that she has blonde hair, and the mother in that movie, she had dark hair.
Oh, absolutely. No, you hit the nail on the head with that one. You hit the nail on the head. But also, this Samuel, I'll be damned if I call this person Sabrina. We all know what Samuel was doing with the dog whistling, because that's basically all it was. Samuel was sitting there trying to find allies because he knows that he's in the wrong. And see, this is one of the things that I truly hate about the Hall T and how they try to operate in society. Just because you, and this is the thing, he said that, oh, I am a hermaphrodite, basically saying he was a hermaphrodite, but he was saying it basically in a way that said that he wasn't, because he wasn't born with both parts. He was born with this, or how they say it, he feels like a man and he feels like a woman. This is all based on a psychosis. And a lot of these people come out into the world thinking that we need to live in their psychosis. And the reason why I call this stuff out, especially people like Samuel, is because people like Samuel will actually, if you play into their psychosis, they will think that they're actually a woman. And they will think that they can do things like fight other women. That's literally I don't want to say every trans person that I've ever known, but I've known some trans people in my time. And many of them, immediately, they have no problem swinging on a woman. And for me, that has always been a bitch move, excuse my French, but that's what that is. Like you said, these men have testosterone, you have more strength than these women, and you choose to become a woman and then go and attack women. To me, that just shows me how much of a coward you already were when you were born. So I'm gonna be honest with you. This whole situation, and you did a much, much better job. I had this bullet in the chamber for almost a week and a half now, and I've been trying to figure out how I'm gonna address it without sounding so, anti them. But this situation is one of those things where it's you just got to call this out for what the hell it is, And the fact that the mother is here trying to basically protect that psychosis that her son is living in. She's not seeing the hypocrisy and stupidity in what she's saying. So you can sit here and say, yeah, she just, for hours, she was just calling us different names and berating us. And your son took it upon himself to put his hands on a woman. That's the problem. That's what stemmed everything.
And then she jumped in and didn't even stop it. She jumped in to continue, and then that's when it turned into a jumping. That's why I said age. That's why I said age does not define maturity, because I believe Jada is the same age as her child. I think they're both. I think they said Jada's 21 too. So which means that Jada was old enough to be your daughter, and she's 45. It's hard to believe that this woman is 45. That means she is 9 years older than me. She was. she's basically right there at the beginning of the millennial stage. That's crazy when you think about it and when you look at her.
Now, I don't know about that, Tori. These wouldn't be lying about their age, especially these Latinos and white women, man.
You know what I say when I see something like this? I said that's a haggard looking 45.
Absolutely. But I'll land with this, Tori. I'll land with this, because the truth of the matter is these women know, well, that woman, the Latina, and the dude, they know that they're in the wrong. And this apology only comes on the bricks after they were arrested, So they know that they're going to have to go to court. They know that they're going to have to deal with the judge, and the judge is going to have to see some sort of remorse, or else you might just go away for assault. And not just assault, you guys jumped this woman. So I'm glad she did not forgive these people. I'm glad that she's running around here making sure people understand. No, I'm not for the death threats or nothing, but no, I'm not going to forgive these people, because these people don't deserve to be forgiven. And I believe that this man, Samuel, needs to go to jail, because, Trump is now not allowing, well, this is not federal jail, but depending on where they are, the person, Samuel, might be put in the women's side, might be put on the male side. But my hopes are that he's arrested and put on the male side and left there for a year. Well, I think he'll like it anyway. He'll just be in his element. But still, there has to be some sort of repercussion to show people such as himself that you can't, just because you in your mind feel that you are something different than what you are, does not mean that you're different than what you are. And for the fact that the dude said, well, he told me I will never be a woman. So you were getting mad because the person was telling you facts? That's how far gone these people are. That's how far gone they are. But thank you for having me up, brother. You, like I said, you had showed a lot more restraint than I've been. Like I said, I've been going over the video several times trying to figure out how am I going to approach this. So much love to you, family. I'll talk to you later.
Shout out to Church for coming up. But before I go to the next person, thank you, Illuminate, for putting this up, because this puts it into more perspective. They said he wasn't made up like a woman when he jumped her. He was looking like a man that day. And that's why I thought it was a straight up dude, because they weren't, like, if you saw what they had on, if you look how the person looked in that video that we just watched, that day when Jada got jumped, they were wearing pants. They had on I think it was like a striped shirt, almost like a polo shirt, and they had their hair in a ponytail, like it was like a bun. And when they were yelling, they had some bass in their voice. So that's why we thought that, you know what? Let me see if I could find a picture so y'all can actually see it for yourself. Hold on. Okay, let me pull this up right quick and so y'all can see for yourself better to understand what I'm talking about. Y'all see it right here? This is how they looked that day. For those who didn't get a chance to see it. As you can see, that's the trash can right there that they had. That's the trash can right there. I think Jada's car is like right here. And then this is when the altercation happened. Look at where the first place he grabbed is on the top of her head. But look at what they have on. These plaid tablecloth pants and this shirt. A far cry from how they looked in that interview and from how they sounded. I just wanted to bring that up to y'all. So that's why many people thought it was a man. And look at the height difference, even at that angle. I just wanted to show y'all that. Let me go ahead and bring the next person up. Reparations, what's going on?
What's going on, Torian and chat? Yeah, Church actually said everything I was going to say, so I'm not going to be very long-winded on it because he took all my talking points. But they're really lucky that this wasn't in Georgia or any other state that doesn't have shitty gun laws like New York, because 2 dudes and a woman on a young lady, that's grounds for self-defense right there. And in our state, that's you pulling out and laying them down and you going home that night, no jail time at all. That's pure self-defense. So they're very lucky that they're in New York and that's a very crappy gun law state. Because in Georgia this wouldn't happen that way. And yeah, and speaking on what a trash can was, I probably would have just knocked it over myself, to be honest. I'd have just drove up, bumped it over, and parked my car and been done with it. There's nothing they could have done about it. Plain and simple. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got because you and Church talked about all my other talking points. I really was just wanted to say. Yeah, I just really wanted to say that if this was in another state, especially in the South, we'd be talking about a self-defense trial, not even a trial, a self-defense situation where 3 people done got laid out, and that's all that would have happened at that point.
Right.
So yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Shout out to Reparation for coming up. Next, we got Jay the Informant. What's going on? You muted. Jay, if you are there and you're speaking, we can't hear you because your mic is muted. Okay, I don't know what's going on, but we'll bring Jay down and we'll bring the next person up. Maybe he'll be ready afterwards. Dee, what's going on? It's been a long time since you've been up here. What's going on?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Hello, chat. Happy Friday Eve. Yeah, because I don't know if I told you, I'm working on my master's.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. But I'm off today. But when I saw the video and I saw that guy, like I know that he's a trans person. I have a lot of trans friends. Even when they go through transition, they still have that male hormone, the like everything male. So when the fact that his voice was able to fluctuate, that male strength does not go away. It gets suppressed whenever they take those like medications, but he will always have that male strength. So when that girl was getting jumped, she was getting jumped by 2 guys and 1 girl, and something could have seriously happened to her if nobody didn't interject.
Exactly. I agree.
She could have been seriously hurt. So I'm glad that they're getting all the smoke, and I hope they never find any peace.
Hey, there it is.
Okay. All right. Well, I have to study, so I'll talk to you later.
All right. Appreciate you coming up.
Okay. Bye, everybody. Bye, D.
All right. All right. I think Jay is ready to come back up. All right. You good now? Jay, are you good now? I think you're unmuted, but if you're talking, we still can't hear you.
I'm good. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
My bad, dude. No, I was on the replay, so I guess I'm like 5, 6 behind or whatever. But anyway, nevertheless, I actually want to so the interview, I want to talk about that. It seemed like in the interview that they were giving them softball questions the whole time. I don't know if you picked up on that.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree. The thing is, well, you know what? Even though the questions were softball, the people already, like someone said in the chat earlier, the court of public opinion already made up their mind about these 2 before they even said 1 word. But we wanted to hear what they were going to say. I think it's more so that I think that even the interviewer who works for the Post where a bulk of the story came from, knew that they were going to like lie, but they said, let me just give an opportunity to get their side. But he probably was sitting up there saying they lying too, because the comments that I was reading that was under where I got the video from, the person who actually conducted the interview, he was agreeing with pretty much everybody in the comments about those two. Like, he knew that they were lying. Like, we saw, like, how are you going to try to convince us that what we saw we didn't see? And again, I'm still stuck on that 45 minutes part, because it's like, if it was 45 minutes of Jada allegedly verbally abusing you like you claim and saying all these things, why isn't that anywhere to be found? That would have been out there. The only thing we've seen was the physical altercation that your child started with her, and then you jumping in, and then this other random guy coming from behind that bus and him jumping in too. So if this happened like you claim you did, then where is it? And going back to what I said initially, the part that triggered the child was Jada calling them an immigrant. But the mother said that Jada called them a B, told them to shut the F up and all this. I'm like, that was worse. And that you would think that would have been the moment for them to want to go on the attack, not for them calling you an immigrant. That's what triggered you. That's what made you want to put hands on her, was that.
That's why it kind of seems like it's fabricated to me. But the whole piece that they did, in my opinion, it looked like a propaganda piece for their side. It looked like the person came in there with the bias, gave them not only a softball interview, but let them tell their so-called side with no evidence whatsoever. And then they played victim, tried to push the responsibility onto Jada the entire time, not holding themselves. And then they took very little accountability. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, that happened one time. Also, I'm transgender. My mother's immigrant. My brother's disabled, and it was to me a propaganda piece that was displayed when I was watching. That's what I got the whole time. I mean, because I couldn't see them actually making a case for what they did. They just made a bunch of sympathy cries and pushing responsibility onto the Jada instead of having responsibility for themselves, saying, "Okay, it's our fault." And then the trash can thing, it keeps throwing me off because they keep saying 45 minutes. But if you were so like enlightened, why didn't you just walk away after 5 minutes or after 2 minutes?
Exactly. Like I said, it doesn't make any sense. And like they were saying, like the neighbors have been complaining about them for years with that trash can situation and holding a parking spot, which you cannot do. Like, it's a public spot. And take it from somebody who has family in New York, and parking up there can be a pain, but it's like basically a first come, first serve type of thing. If your name is not on that spot, or that's not in alignment with your complex, anybody can park there.
Yeah,
like it's literally public parking. So what if you have to drive around, or whatever the case is? It is what it is. That's just how janky New York parking is. For those who've never been in New York, that parking stuff can be very stressful. It reminds me of DC parking. DC parking is the worst type of parking to me. I'm only speaking for myself. I'm not speaking for myself because I live close there, and I try whenever I go to DC, I always make sure to take the metro, because I'll be damned if I'm dealing with the parking down there. That parking is ridiculous.
Yeah, like if I'm going to like the inside of downtown, I would like to park outside on the outskirts of it, because after like 12 o'clock, it's a pain in the ass. Like going to the museum district, or going to just going over there by George R. Brown Center, all that stuff is a pain. It's a pain because parking is ridiculous. On top of that, the pricing is like $20 and up. I'm like, no, that's not gonna happen.
Parking is expensive, and then for us, like in the DC area, the downtown in DC, the parking is free on Sunday. Good luck trying to get I'm sure that's probably everywhere. Like, good luck getting a park there on Sunday, because people will take advantage of that free parking.
Oh yeah, for sure. And on top of that, I mean, like over here, I know on Sundays ours is free. But during the regular weekdays, like if you have to get like a meter maid or something, like if you have to get a meter, trust me, meter maids over here in Houston, they're everywhere. But anyway, sticking back to the story, because the parking is a parking lot, I think, everywhere. But the way that she displayed like what she did and all that stuff, like 45 minutes is a little bit too long. So I got a 4-year-old in the background, so sorry about that. But 45 minutes is way. I'm not 4-year-old. Oh, 5-year-old. Okay, 5-year-old. Anyway, 45 minutes is way too freaking long. It kind of threw me off. He threw me off a little bit. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say, man. Like, it seemed like a propaganda piece, and on top of that, 45 minutes was way too long for you to be trying to argue with somebody. If you're so enlightened, it should have ended after 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. That's it. Point blank, period.
Exactly. Was that it?
Yeah, that's it, man. Sorry about that. That's it.
All right, no problem. Thanks for
Take it
coming
easy,
up.
y'all.
Shout out to Jay for coming up. And Doc Spencer, listen, this right here is the absolute truth. DC, and I've told people this, DC has some of the worst one-way streets in the world, and detour be damned. Take it from somebody who had to drive around DC one time, and I made one wrong turn. My 20-minute trip turned into almost an hour-long trip. Because another thing about driving around in DC on the weekends, especially, that makes it worse, is not only you have to deal with the one-ways and the parking, but also that's when they like to do a lot of construction, which means there's a lot of detours. Imagine you're going somewhere, a place that you know all this time, and you're used to going that way. Then you got to take a detour because of some construction. Then it takes you all the way around the world. So yeah, DC does have some of the worst one. And I always tell people, if you ever come to DC, get ready to stress to almost crash out when you're driving. If you drive, I would highly suggest, if you are coming to DC, just take Uber or Lyft. Let them deal with it. Don't stress yourself out about it. Don't even get a rental, or get. I would say, if you're going to get on the metro, you might want to be with somebody for that, because you may not know how to navigate it. But DC does have some of the worst one ways. DC actually is nothing but a bunch of one ways. Like, if it tells you to go left, there is no going straight or to the right. You're going left. You can go another way if you want to, but you can get all turned around. I'm just giving people a heads up. If they ever want to go to DC for whatever reason, you're going to be dealing with detours, one ways, and construction. Because all three of those are happening in DC, and it doesn't have to be a weekend. It's throughout the week. And then the week is even worse, because DC is nothing but a bunch of government buildings and stuff. So now you're dealing with a lot of traffic. And then when it's during the week, you're dealing with a lot of traffic on the road and on the train and the bus. I'm telling you, DC, for it to be just carved into a square, it's so heavily populated. It's crazy. But anyway, y'all, shout out to everybody that came through for this live. This is again a follow-up to the video that I did earlier. Shout out to anybody who, I think someone subscribed. Shout out to them. 2 videos coming tomorrow at 12 and 6. The next live will be on Saturday, and that live is going to be me finally talking about that body cam footage involving that man down there in Jacksonville. Y'all know which one I'm talking about. I'm finally going to be talking about that on Saturday. Same time it's going to be at 6. It's going to be the evening stream. So, and also True Crime Sunday will be on this Sunday as well. Same time. I'll let you know y'all will find out on Saturday what the True Crime Sunday is, because I usually post it up on the community tab. So y'all will find out then. But with that being said, everybody, y'all enjoy the rest of your evening. Stay safe, stay hydrated, stay cool, because it's humid again. But most importantly, be one.